Welcome everyone to a Tortuga Power channel update, kind of on the back end of that public service announcement, PSA, I posted earlier. So first and foremost, yes, my internet is back up. All those things are settled, and hopefully in my new place I'll have slightly better audio quality because I'm not in a big echoey room. I actually have a place set up, and well, we'll see if it ends up being a better environment or not. But I'm very happy. Things are working again. And second of all, like the two things I need to address right away is that, and then also what is this behind me? What is this we're looking at? This is Command Ops 2. And this is definitely going to be the next series that I'm going to take up right after I finish the Advanced Tactics Gold tutorial, which is coming to a close in maybe a couple of episodes. I've been waiting patiently, or maybe impatiently, to get this series started. I think that Command Ops 2 is a fantastic game. I'll talk more about it in the series itself, but it's slightly more strategic, like a one step removed from your combat missions or your Graviteam tactics. It's a little bit higher up the food chain if you're talking about we're commanding companies and battalions here rather than individual units. And I would say that the focus is even more on giving orders and playing as if you're a real-life general. That includes order delays, that includes not taking over every individual unit and telling them what to do. There's a lot of reliance on AI, and that's like the immersive way of pretending that there's a lot of reliance on your subordinate leaders. So a general is not going to be giving an individual company movement orders. That's what the captain will coordinate with the lieutenant, and they'll work all that stuff, all the details out, but that's not what you're going to be having your general do. He's going to be telling, okay, this division move there, this division move here, and the finer points about everything else that's going on is left to the individual commanders underneath the division, inside of the division. So I really like the idea, the concept, and the game is fantastic. It's incredibly fun to play. I would say that I would like this potentially to be a series on my channel for quite a while, the same way Advanced Tactics Gold was. So this is going to kind of replace that for a short while. Although I do want to pick up one more cooperative series of Advanced Tactics Gold. I think that would be a lot of fun. So what we're looking at here is the tutorial mission, Return to Sankt Vith, or Sankt Vith, if you're talking about it in Sankt Vith in the German. It's a tutorial mission, so it's not the hardest one, but it is a blast to play, and it has already kind of hooked me on the game. I would say this game takes a little while to learn, so I'm not going to go into all the details, but essentially what we're going to be looking at is my assault toward Sankt Vith. I started down here. We're just charging up. You can see the orange are the beige lines are the roads, so I'm trying to push up one road, push up another, kind of securing this highway. The red is the paved highway, so it's a main road inlet. Black is the railroads. Essentially what's happening is I'm collapsing from all sides on Sankt Vith, and we have pockets of German units that have been kind of overrun. So they're behind enemy lines, but they're still fighting, so I'm trying to deploy a few forces to recover and take those guys out. In fact, some of these guys are not actually visible. We're just seeing the traces of where they were last. The crosses you're seeing here are all dispatched German units. So you can see that this is I'm going to be playing the exact map, this one, the Return to Sankt Vith, for the first gameplay series on Command Ops 2. But this is probably the most successful I imagine you can get with this series, with this tutorial. Because we've done really well. I've just pushed all the units out. If I go to control mode, we can see that I have very good supply lines. The blue, if it's blue, that means you're kind of assured of the supply lines. I've been very careful about doubling back. So this is one element of my 8th tank battalion. This is one company that I kind of left behind to pick off this extra unit that could have cut off supply lines. So we can see that there is still a secure supply line all the way up to Sankt Vith through this secondary route. Anyway, this game is a blast. I'm going to kind of let it play out in the background as we're talking about various other things, but certainly part of this video was in order to hype up. I don't like that. I don't like hyping. My favorite movie to watch is one that I've been told is terrible or I know nothing about. Low expectations leads to satisfaction, in my opinion. But I am going to kind of like advertise for that series, that I hope everyone can check it out. And the best thing about this game is the base module, the one I have right here, is free. You can go and download it. I don't know, it's from the Panther Games publishing site, which I'm not sure, I can't remember who their publisher is, but you can get the game module, and which includes this tutorial and 2 other missions for free. And then you can acquire different modules for money after that. And I really love that style of game marketing, where gone are the days of game demos, but this is basically a game demo version. So I promote this game, and I'm not paid to do it or anything, but I really highly recommend this game. And we'll be talking more about it. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and let this game run at the slowest speed and probably be doing a little bit of bombardment. Let's see, we're missing the 22nd. There they are. So we'll get these guys to do a little bombardment. They already kind of are bombarding something. I don't want to bombard that, it's too close. Let's just bombard, oh yeah, let's bombard these guys. So they look like they're still dug in there, and we want to push them back. And let's get the 177th to bombard this base. The more damage we can inflict on that base, the less. We didn't get an airstrike. It's poor visibility, this is supposed to be just at the end of the Battle of the Bulge, after Bastogne has already been secured once again by the Americans. The 101st, which is cut off, has been reinforced now. So this is at the end, but okay. So we'll let this keep playing out, and I'll try to attend to a few things in the background, but you can just be amused by that. But mainly what I want to start talking about is other stuff. So Command Ops 2 done. Next up, Silent Hunter 3. I'm getting all the mods set. We should have all that stuff ready to go in maybe, I think by next weekend. We'll have episode number 1 of Patrol number 2 ready to go by next weekend, so that's August 20th, I think. That's when I project we'll be ready to go. Looks my troops. I mentioned the command delay in Command Ops 2, so I'm giving orders and they don't get responded to in 30 minutes, because that's how things work, right? The trickle down. The general sends an order, 10 minutes later, captain gets it, he advises his subordinates, captain sends it to the individual companies. The individual companies need time after they get the orders to form a plan of attack, and so on and so forth. So there is a delay here when we're seeing these units move, and obviously I haven't given any orders to these guys. Also, you give orders to the battalion usually, and the individual companies are modeled in. I mean, we can see the individual units, but you rarely give orders to the individual units. Looks like we still have an HQ battalion really cut off, and there's only 10 soldiers left in this whole HQ. I'm surprised they just haven't surrendered. So you know what, let's, this guy's, he's reforming, so he's coming back, attacking back, which is good. And this guy's already being just decimated by my, all my Shermans over here. Okay, so, Silent Hunter 3 will be back. Thanks again to Wolfpack345 for helping me out. Just basically all I did was take a lot of the mods that he's using, but he did offer his support if any of the mods didn't work, and so that thanks to him. He's also started up a new series, so you can check out all that on his channel. So we'll be getting that up next week. For Project Zomboid, I just want to say I'm really surprised how well my current gameplay has gone. I've loved this Tortoise 2 power, really long-lived playthrough that killed 2,500 zombies. So from the survival standpoint, I wasn't expecting to get this far. And now we're almost at endgame status. We're starting to live in this lake cabin to the far north of downtown. So we moved out from our little downtown home. We probably have another big shotgun or hunting rifle rampage in us to go around and use a bit of ammunition, get ourselves a little bit better at reloading and aiming. But when this series it's winding down, because as you get to end game, things get a little easier, a little bit of the drama, the intensity diminishes. What I was thinking is, eventually we'll call this series to a close. And then I think I want to switch over to Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead for just a brief like intermission between build 34 and build 35 for Project Zomboid. Let's get this recon unit to attack north. This is a base that we were really pressuring. So I want to continue that pressure. So I'm just going to move attack north. They probably, I don't think they can, I'm not sure if they can cross this little stream. This is okay, this is part of the problem with the game. Sometimes you have, this is Pine Woods. Can we get stream? Oh, it's just a stream, so it probably can be crossed by infantry. It looks like motorized can move over at 2%. Foot can move over at 11% speed. So yeah, even motorized can cross this stream. So we'll try to pursue them up that way. Right now they are getting their orders. And pink means they're getting their orders, and then we'll see him switch over to attack very soon. Okay. So that's Project Zomboid. Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead, we'll try to sneak in a gameplay of that, which is a lot of fun. It's probably a better overall zombie game, but you know the graphics are missing, and I do use a graphic pack, a mod pack, graphics pack, sprite pack. I don't know what they're called. I'm blanking on the name. Oh, it looks like we have encountered this very decimated, completely, just totally brutalized remnants of the Fusilier Regiment HQ. No doubt they're not long for this world. Looks like that other division here, HQ Battalion, was destroyed. We're eliminating German units left and right. This is not looking good for them. And this, like I said, when we play this map, I'm not expecting us to have such success as I'm having here. I'm just, I don't know, with luck or, you know, you're trying to anticipate your enemy's movements, and it's a probability thing. You're not guaranteed to get it right, but we are doing well in this particular gameplay, this particular playthrough. All right, so Project Zomboid to Cataclysm DDA to then Project Zomboid again with build 35. Also, Distant Worlds. So I'm doing this tutorial series, which I've been doing that and the Advanced Tactics Gold tutorial. I'm kind of running out of steam with the tutorials. I think it's about time that I do a gameplay of Distant Worlds, and I have set up in my mind an Honorverse themed playthrough of Distant Worlds universe, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. I renamed my classes so that we have dreadnoughts in the command hierarchy, which is pretty cool. So we'll just be using that Honorverse themed idea, although it's not going to impact any of the gameplay. So it'll still be basically vanilla Distant Worlds gameplay. So that'll be a lot of fun. Run. And yep, we found this guy again. This is a base, not what the enemy wants to have attacked, but unfortunately they'll probably retreat, so I'm going to put my artillery a little bit behind them so that they have to pull back into the artillery. They're not long for this world, though. We're probably eliminating a lot of the reinforcements and a lot of the supply that should be going to the front. So, anyway, let's see, what else? So, Distant Worlds, we'll get that gameplay going. And the next thing is one of the things I've been trying to get. I've been waiting and kind of biding my time, but really been wanting to get onto the channel for a long time. And that is, as I kind of teased with the OpenTTD episode that I talked about, my public service announcement, PSA. I teased it, but I want to get Tycoon stuff going on the channel. And I have a few ideas for which games to try, and I'm actually really curious if anybody else has games which they would like to recommend, like things that are particularly fun Tycoon games. The ones that I have in mind for possibly introducing to the channel are OpenTTD, which is a great game. You know, we have this evolution of the Transport Tycoon to Transport Tycoon Deluxe, but it still had some bugs. It was hard to carry it forward. Backwards compatibility with previous versions was an issue. I mean, with Windows moving forward, and as you move forward in technology, TTD stayed where it was, and there wasn't a bridge, so someone reverse engineered it, made it open source. OpenTTD is the result. It's really the kingpin of all transport tycoons. Any kind of transport, railroad, anything, because it incorporates railroad in a great way, but it also includes buses and trucks for hauling people and goods. It also includes airplanes for all kinds of cargo, ships. It's just got everything in it, and it's extremely well done. So, there's probably not enough good things you can say about OpenTTD. The only problem with it is that I'm not excellent at it. There's a lot of people who play it better. So that's one kind of reason why maybe it would be less good to play. Wow, we're really giving it to that You can see the combat rating. This is the combat rating. So as their number drops from 2 down to 1, the yellow means they're retreating. That means we're just pummeling that force. I'll probably bring this guy up along this road just to secure even the northern route. So if I pause real fast, let's just take a look. Yeah, it doesn't really give us full control of that area. Sets might still be defended by a force we missed, but we've really pushed a lot of our control, which, like I said, influences how your supply can be traveling and reaching forces. Okay, so let's go back to playing that. So Tycoon games, I'm going to give you the list, and then I'll go through the rest of them. OpenTTD, Patrician series, Port Royale, which are related, Railroad Tycoon, and then maybe as kind of like an iffy one that I'm just going to tack on to the end is the Guild 2 Renaissance. I was thinking about maybe playing that one, but it's a little slower. For Patrician, I've played Patrician 4, but I've heard that Patrician 3 is better. So I might maybe start with Patrician 4 and then transition to Patrician 3 after like a short gameplay of Patrician 4. Or maybe Port Royale, another game that I never played, but I just picked up. And I know that those are very similar games to Patrician 4. Oh, looks like we have some enemy infantry behind our front lines. This is why I included the 2 artillery groups here, because despite being artillery, they are very well defended. We can see this is the artillery, but they have some Shermans, some of these. Yeah, they have half-track vehicles with machine gun mounts. That's always good. Plus, they just have, look at these 30 cal M1 cal, M3 submachine guns. Lots of good stuff to prevent any kind of attack on them. So the artillery themselves are well defended. We're going to need to draw somebody back to deal with this force. Unfortunately, let's see who we have available. This is CCA. No, this is CCB. Okay. Maybe I'm going to get this division, the division HQ to have this attack itself. They have Stuarts, Shermans, half-tracks. It's a very well-equipped force to deal with what we presume is a very lightly defended unit. So look, they have flamethrowers. Not much which is going to do, just the Panzerfaust, which are going to do any kind of damage to my HQ. Which normally you wouldn't want to just send your HQs like this, but I think we're going to do it just because we're a little strapped for reserve units right now. Which is a problem I frequently run into this game because I'm not very good. So let's just move this guy over here and have him defend. We're going to have him prepare for attacks on the way, and we're just going to have him engage anything he can possibly see anywhere in this area. We want him to face this direction because these guys are going to cover this direction, so we want him to cover kind of that more that facing. Okay, good. Get him to do that, that's fine. We already eliminated so many German units over there. Okay, so let's stay on target. The Tycoon games, I've went through them. I just really want to get into one of them, and I'm leaning towards Patrician 4 as the first basic playthrough. I just really miss one of those games where you buy low, sell high. Even X3 Terran Conflict comes to mind in terms of that's a space trader game, but the concept's very similar, right? You're looking for cargo to transfer to different areas. All those games remind me of the Tycoon series, and I miss that on the channel. I could do Railroad Tycoon even. I was thinking of doing Railroad Tycoon 3, although Railroad Tycoon 2 might be a little bit easier just because of the dynamic economy that number 3 has. Number 2, if you establish a really lucrative route, the only thing that can happen is the AI can come in and maybe compete with you, but that route should stay lucrative. In 3, they built in the dynamic economy where, it doesn't always work that way. You have a route which is lucrative, but then you start satisfying the demand, and then the route doesn't earn you as much money. Port Royale is really just the Caribbean version of Patrician. Maybe even it's kind of redundant in terms of Sid Meier's Pirates even. Although Sid Meier's Pirates was much more focused on piracy and combat and the storyline behind all that too. Not as much about trading. And like I said, the Guild 2 is probably a little bit more on the fringes just because it's a slower gameplay. Okay, so that's all the stuff I wanted to get through with Tycoon, so I'll unpause, we'll start running this again, and now I'm going to start telling you about Other games on my list that are not currently being used, but possibilities for the future. These are on my list of games to play in the future. These are called, quote unquote, other games on the back burner. What are the other games I have on the back burner? Well, we have Hegemony 3. 2 really sizable updates have come out for Hegemony 3 since I last played it, and I think it'd be worth a revisit at this point. The game has improved, and the 2 big updates have actually been content patches, which means that they've added, this is basically like the, okay, wait. Which one are you? 25, oh, this one, right? No, what are you doing? What did I just do? Oh, what is going on? No, I want this guy. You have orders. Okay, good. So did you... You completed your attack. Okay, so let's get you to probe down this way. Let's get you to set up here and then probe over here, let's say. And let's just have you go using the quickest route because that should take you this way. Just make sure that that is above the river. We'll even do the probe here. Good. Okay, so let's let our artillery continue to bombard this guy here. Now, other games on the back burner, Hegemony 3, these are like DLCs, the 2 patches. They've really released a lot of stuff, but, Longbow Games is good about it. They probably realized that their game was a little bit buggy when it came out, or maybe they really had hoped that these things would have been in from the beginning, and good for them for releasing them for free. So they don't have any kind of DLC you have to buy or whatever. They're just offering the gameplay content in patches for free, which I love. And I think it would be kind of fun to return to that game. It's a fun game. It's not like the most amazing, but it's up there. I would give it a good rating. And I'm very harsh on game ratings, The next one is Hearts of Iron 3. Now that the Hearts of Iron 4 fate is kind of dying down, maybe it's time for us to actually play Hearts of Iron 3 as Italy, as we planned. And that would be fun because then people who have been kind of wrapped up in the Hearts of 4 thing can see and compare really actively the difference between 4 and 3. Also on the list, but less likely, I have Making History: The Great War, but every time I think about playing this, which has been off and on for about 4 months, I just look at Commissar Bro, I look at Agrippa Maxenius, and these guys are both doing great series on these games already. So it's a little discouraging. I always feel like maybe it's not necessary. Okay, what's your plan though? What are you doing? Good God. I've done something horribly wrong. I guess he'll get here and then he'll decide his plan of attack. Okay, so Making History: The Great War. It's just a game that I've considered playing for a while. Let's get these guys to push forward. Form up and then attack St. Fifth's outer perimeter. And then last but not least, Battle Brothers. I really like the game. Unfortunately, the way I play is very slow-paced. It's probably not the ideal for gameplay. It's a bit slow of a game, especially when you get into hex combat. It takes a long time. And the game is still a work in progress. It's early access. So, anyways, that's going to conclude this video. It's been a bit long, but I had a real pleasure bringing it to you. I hope you are a little bit excited about Command Ops. When I'm explaining it more, I think it should be even more exciting. And when we're getting more into it, I can really pretend, for immersion, this game is great because you are relying on your subordinate units. And that is what a general actually has to do. So this, and then we have, just to recap, we have Silent Hunter 3 coming up next week, assuming I get all the mods working. Project Zomboid, if that's been a real pleasure, again, to get like 30 episodes in. I never would have expected it to survive for that long. Well, kind of. And I'm really excited about Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead, which is, in case you've never heard of it, just basically like a zombie survival game in the vein of Dwarf Fortress. Distant Worlds, looking forward to that. I'm going to put a little bit of a pause on the tutorial series, I think, because I'm running out of steam for what to tutorialize. And then the Tycoon games. And really, in the comments, I hope that people can recommend Tycoon games I haven't mentioned, even like Industry Giant. Somebody was guessing OpenTTD was in the previous video, but That's a great game too. If somebody was like, I would love to see a gameplay series on Industry Giant, I would bite, totally bite. I love that game. So, a lot of feedback I'm hoping about the Tycoon stuff. Otherwise, just leave a comment about whatever you want or nothing at all. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next video.